Hey guys, welcome back to Infinity something or other expert mode episode something or other. Thanks for joining us today. We have a busy day. So we got this machine frame built, and what we need to do next basically is ender pearls. This thing takes so long to grow, and so many recipes take ender pearls, resident ender, enderium, the whole deal. And if you plant this guy on endstone, he has a chance of dropping a second seed, so we can make the farm bigger and just get to getting more ender pearls. So that's really what we need to do with our first machine frame. So what we're going to make is a magma crucible to melt down one of the ender pearls, and then a fluid transposer to make endstone. So that's why I'm gathering up the items here, so that we can make a second machine frame. I already put a few of these guys in here. And I put a whole stack ready for the steel because, well, we use a ton of this stuff. So let's go ahead and flatten it out and do what we gotta do there. And then we can get everything loaded up into our assembly table. Shouldn't take too long here. We only need one of those guys, and then just waiting on these to flatten out and then throw it in there. And then it is going to take a bit of time to build. So while that's going, I guess we can start on the magma crucible as well. And this guy shouldn't be too hard to do. Nether brick. Envar we can make. Nether brick, we're going to have to journey into the nether. So I guess let's set up another portal, and it's just a coincidence I had 10 here. I was actually setting up a bunch to make machine frames, but our first one is going to require this, so where shall we set this guy up? I guess it really doesn't matter, so let's just put it over here. And I did a little bit of testing. If you stand on the rock crusher, it rock crushes you. So that's why it has some dirt on top of it. And now the ender, the nether has some stuff in it that's different. I don't know exactly what. You know what? I should check how to make a flint and steel, because I'm sure it's different. Okay, just a flint and steel. That's easy enough, so let's grab one of these before it crushes them all. Perfect, we've got enough here to compress. Now will that only take 9 of them into one plate? I'm not sure. We'll run this as a little test. And we must have some flint over here. Throw this together. And throw away the clovers because those just clog me up every single time. And I don't know really that we're ready to go in here, but well, I guess all we need is a few nether bricks, so we will rush around. Oh, did I just get an achievement? I think I just got the nether achievement. See, I have really not been here yet. Yeah, I'm going to very quickly grab some netherrack and get out of here because I don't know what's different, and I don't want to find out right now. What is this? Nether cobble ore. I'm pretty sure that the ores explode and bad things happen, and pigmen get mad when you get them, but that's fine. We'll get a couple and we'll get out of here before they notice. That's good to know too. We're near a huge lava lake, so when we need more lava, it'll be easy to get. Okay, so nice quick trip there. And I guess we have to make the Envar. So why don't I put 8 of these to cook? And I'll get the Envar ready, and hopefully something will happen next time you see me. Okay, this guy is done, and we should have just about everything to make both the fluid transposer and the magma crucible. So Now these guys here, we're just going to keep making this place uglier for now. And hooking them up over here. But I guess that kind of doesn't matter too much because this guy still isn't grown. Ouch. So it's going to be kind of a little bit before we can really use, well, at least make what we want to with this. But what I have realized also, and I've said before, is that this guy is slow. We filled him back up and he takes forever, and steel is used for absolutely everything. So we are going to speed up our steel production by making the induction smelter. So that, again, not too bad. Some more Invar, which we just had, some buckets, another machine frame, which is why we are making more of these guys. I've made all the stuff. I think we're just going to throw in what we need for all of this. I'll have to get some more obsidian and throw it all into here. And we'll just let that go. So let me go grab some more obsidian. So we've got pretty much everything we need for the pulverizer and for the induction smelter, except for the machine frames, which now that these energy cells have been totally sucked out is extremely slow. We are producing apparently only 40 RF per tick. Not particularly good. We've got one though, so I guess we'll use that for, let's do the pulverizer first. So that is the one we've got up there. Uh-oh, what are we missing? What are we missing? We're missing one copper gear, which is still in there. Wow. Okay, not a problem. So there is that. But here's the current issue. We have machines everywhere, and it's getting ugly. And this is going to take a long time. So I think I'm going to find a place and get building for a permanent home for some more machines, because this is sort of turned into the forge type place with all our furnacey bits. As you see, steel very slowly being created here. But I guess we're going to not have the other machines here. We have our furnacey things here, and we're going to have our machiney things elsewhere. So I'm going to hop onto a creative server and just come up with some sort of build and find an area not too far away and see what we can do while I guess the 5 more of these get built, and then we'll have even more machines to put in there. So I've been working on some designs. I think I found some colors I liked, but then I noticed this guy has finally grown. So what we are going to do is make ourselves some end stone to go on. So first we got to melt this guy down in the magma crucible. Ooh, let's make sure he doesn't go where we don't want. And then we need him in the fluid transposer. Actually, no. Yes. Yes. We need him in the fluid transposer, which should go that way. And then what we're going to do is we are going to put him into the tinkers, because you can pour it over obsidian when it's in the tinkers. And we should be able to make 5 bits of the end stone instead of just 1 if we were to do it in the fluid transposer with sandstone. So that is the route we're going to take. I also made an igneous extruder to make our obsidian easier. It's slower, it takes a ton of energy, but we're going to be able to automate it a lot easier that way than we would be able to in tinkers. So that was the reason for that. Did we lose the brick? I always lose this brick inside here. Always. I still didn't get it back. Oh, you know what? That means it goes into here somehow. I don't know how that happens. Anyways, so we'll put that on there. We'll grab our trusty little hammer and give this a tap. That should have put it into here. And then we can pour it over the obsidian, when the obsidian is in the thing that's missing. Oh, I put it up there. Okay. Let's see if this works. I haven't tried this, but it's supposed to work. Alright, put the obsidian in. Put that on there. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, excellent. Look at that. End stone. And how much did that take? Yeah, it only took 50. So we can do that a few more times here. Get plenty of end stone. Let's plant this. I'm just going to plant it right in the same spot for now. So now that we're going to have a few bits of end stone, and these grow a lot faster and have a chance of multiplying, I do want to get into a planter harvester setup for that. But that's probably going to be somewhere down the line because that is a hole that we don't want to dig right now. To be able to make the harvester, you need the plastic sheets. Everything else is pretty easy. Envar we can do, machine frames obviously, gold, whatever. Plastic sheets are just a nightmare. Compressed sawdust rocket fuel bucket for some reason is required to make plastic sheets, so that's a bottler. Rocket fuel, you need something or other. A vat to make that, and hooch in a vat with gunpowder and redstone. Who came up with this? And then so to make hooch we need a vat again with potatoes and sugar and water. I don't know. So that's gonna take a bit to do. That's gonna have to be another episode because we've got our own projects for today to worry about. So we should be able to do this just one more time here. And that's going to give us our 5 bits of endstone, which is more than enough for quite a while. I'll just make a nice little ring over here for this. See, this is like wishful thinking that we're going to be able to get enough ender lily seeds to fill this up. But it's something for now. I guess we should just crush down some more of this obsidian and keep going on machine frames, right? I've been crushing down gravel to get us sand. So that's what that's all about. But let's go take a look at the build that I'm working on over here. I kind of like this block, but it is kind of expensive. It's a purple fantasy block. I tried marble bricks from Project Red, but you know, here, let me show you. I just don't really like the way they look as much. They're similar, but it's kind of gray, and this really adds some color that I think is nice. But to get the fantasy block, it's a gold nugget surrounding stone, and gold nuggets right now we don't have a ton. But that's fine. This thing that I'm going to build here I think is going to be big and is going to just keep getting wings added onto it. But for a floor, I like the raw marble. I think that it works. With the colors, it's a little more gray, and this is sort of a little more tan, but I think that it works fine. Maybe we can use this for a little bit of pattern in the floor so it's not all just plain, and there are a couple other ways you can carve out marble that I think should look pretty good. This one here is also nice. We'll tear up this one. This one doesn't work at all for me. But, you know, you can do a couple of different things. You know, those are similar but a little bit different. So I think that's what we're going to do for over here, but let me just show you. Actually, it's probably easier to show you on the map. So this is where we are, and this is a large area here that I'm thinking might be a nice big castle for us. And I mean, this is, you know, these are chunks here, so it's like a huge area. This has got to be like 100 by maybe like 50 or so, which gives us a huge area that we can build in, add floors, we can add wings onto it because we're sort of in the open here. I know I really need to get a jetpack so we can see these things easier. You know, but we can always add wings onto it. We can add a wing going out this way here. We can go back over here. We can make a little thing here, and then we can start bridging over to this little island. Oh, look, a slime. So there's a lot that we can do, and I think I want to start on a base. Instead of building a bunch of singular buildings, I want to have one big building that's going to house most of our stuff. We are going to keep the forge separate. We're going to make a little agricraft greenhouse kind of thing. We'll have a few separate buildings, but we want one big main base area. The entrance I don't think is going to be over here. The entrance will probably be sort of where these flowers are, because that's going to sort of be the middle of it. but I haven't really fully planned it out. I just basically want to get started on it and get just one room of our castle built so we can get some of the machines in there. So that's kind of what I'm working on now, and this is probably just a temporary entrance, or maybe it'll be sort of like the, what is this? The east wing entrance or something like that. I don't know. I'm not great at building castles, but I think that this would be sort of an interesting castle build to do because of how cool this block is. I mean, you see there's like, we got the pillars over here. There's also another pillar that has a bit of a design. There's some gold. There's a bunch of different kinds of bricks. So I think that we could really get creative and then start throwing some of these into some carpenter's blocks to get some stairs and wedges and all different things, and then shaving them down, making micro blocks out of them. I think there's a huge potential for us to make something that's going to look awesome using this. But that is going to take a ton of gold, so that's why we're just going to build a small wing of it to get some of these machines set up over here. And that is sort of my goal for the rest of this episode, is to get that set up. Probably another set of water wheels over here to run some of these machines, because this has always been like our 4G kind of thing. We get the ovens and all that. So I think the last thing that I'm going to add in here, because this charcoal machine and everything is probably going to get moved or something, I'm not sure. We might even shrink down the tinkers a little bit, because our main processing isn't going to be done through here. Once we've got everything else set up, there's better ways to do it. But what I do want to put in here is an obsidian creator. So that's what the power that's going to go into this building is. Since none of these take power, the only power that's really going to be used in here, these 3 water wheels, are going to be basically just making us obsidian all the time. Because the magma crucible takes quite a bit of power to make a bucket of lava, which makes 1 obsidian, I think it takes like a couple of minutes on the water wheel for just 1 piece. So that water wheel will just stay over here. Maybe I'll shrink it down, only have 1 or 2 segments so it doesn't look kind of as silly, or maybe make a better spot for it. But, you know, we do want to keep power over here, and I'll probably keep the rock crusher sort of tucked into the side of the mountain. We can always make another one of those for our castle if we need it. But I'm going to get building on this, get a nice sized room set up, and start moving some of the machines in there, and hopefully come up with something that doesn't look too bad. But this is probably going to take quite a while and quite a bit of gold, and well, we have a couple stacks, but that's not going to get too far when we start putting it into nuggets to make blocks out of, just to build with. Maybe I should have picked a different block to use. The amount of flowers these bees produce is amazing. I guess if we ever need dye, we just need to go around wherever we get our bees set up. Which is not going to be there permanently, but it's going to be somewhere. And look at this. This has only been like maybe an hour, maybe 2. And this thing's already almost halfway grown. It was taking like 12 to 15 hours or something like that before, 10 hours, I don't know, on the grass. And on the end stone, what, maybe 3 or 4 hours it might take, 5 at the most. I mean, it's at least doubly as fast. Anyway, so I like the way this is looking. I need to add more detail, windows, whatever. So it doesn't look great from here, but inside I like what I've done with the floor. Sort of just the raw marble and the marble with large dent, and doing 3x3 patterns. I got this around the outside, and then in the little sort of corner areas it's changed up a little bit. I don't know, I kind of like the way this is looking. You can get a better sense of it from in here. I mean, the floor looks cool. And then this is sort of going to give you the scale. You know, we'll have these corners, maybe another one over here, maybe like some mid towers, an entrance over here, and it'll just take up this whole area. So this is going to take a while to build. We got a ton of knocking down of the land because it gets sort of hilly over here. Not too bad, but you know, it's a large area, so that's a lot of dirt to pull out. You know, this is going to be a huge project that's just going to be ongoing, and then we'll start adding floors to this thing, get some castle ideas going. I don't really know how to build a castle, like I said, but we will figure it out, and we'll get this thing looking good. But for now, we got some areas. You know, we have this area over here, which I think is going to start setting up some machines, and I really don't know how I'm going to plan the whole thing out, but at least we've got an idea. And then I was also thinking the water wheels are kind of ugly and really not going to fit into our castle. I mean, these blocks for the castle are sort of more of a modern castle look, not really a Stone Age castle, just because we got the gold and the purple. So, yeah, I know, modern castle, it's kind of funny. But I don't think a water wheel is going to fit in the build. So I think what we need to do is maybe start looking into some nuclear stuff. Wow. The IC2. Nuclear reactors and stuff. The reason that I want to look into these, where are they? For the fuel rods that we need to make, because that's how you really start getting into advancing on. You get the fuel rods, and then you get the plutonium out of them, and then you can get this RTG fuel, which is required for a lot of stuff. The extreme crafting, which I realized you can make the things out of, but then we need it for the fuel rods to start getting into big reactors, which are a whole lot safer because those can't explode, unlike the industrial craft ones, which do explode. And then you need it for some of the draconic evolution stuff. And so it's just going to be a good idea for us to start getting into, you know, you need the iridium, which is for, where does this go? I don't even know, but that's not what we need. I think you need it for applied energistics. I don't know how to get there, but I'm pretty sure that you need to get into that to get into applied energistics. So what we're going to do is probably try to get a small nuclear reactor going to get some of these up. And I think, you know, unlike anywhere, you're not going to really want to put your nuclear reactor on top of your castle. So I think that's what this little area here, the meteorite that we saw earlier, I think that's sort of a nice little dead zone for us to put a nuclear reactor, maybe hollow out the big meteor that's there and turn it into a reactor. That seems kind of cool. Then we'll run some power lines back over to civilization. So that's sort of a plan for the future. And what's going to happen from here on out, I guess. That's some pretty big plans laid that will take quite a while. But for now, I'm going to get some of these machines moved over into there, get them set up on the basic power that we do have, and everything will just slowly fall into place. But unfortunately, I think that's all we've got time for today. We're running maybe a little short, but I kind of want to keep these episodes around the 20-25 minutes. Some of the other ones have gone a little bit longer, which I know after a while you're watching it and you got other things to do. So I'm sort of aiming for the shorter episodes, so that's going to be all we got for today. But thanks, guys, for watching. Really appreciate it. Don't forget, give me some comments, give me some likes. It lets me know that you like what I'm doing, or if you want to see different things, comment on it, because it's kind of an open slate. There's so much to do here, and we're going to get into all of it, but tell me what you want to see first, and that's what we're going to do. But anyways, thanks, guys, and have a good night.